tell me why you ended up having to hire a restoration contractor.
Back in October of 2011, we had a major fire, which destroyed most of the back of the house and 100% of it internally from water and heat damage.
Okay.
So in the midst of the fire, we were bombarded by, I guess we would call them public adjusters. But I turned them all away, and my insurance company sent JM Construction, Ron from JM Construction, liked him right away.
Okay.
He was really very pleasant, really understanding. So as we got into the process, we started looking at what to be done, and he explained to me the process. What I really liked was the fact that they had already on site the guys to do the internal cleaning part, which was right away. So the same day of the fire, they began to board the place up. In the midst of my house burning, still smoking like a cheap cigar, I had all these guys running at me saying, "Oh, we can do this for you, we can do that for you." But I had already called the insurance company on my way home once I realized the fire was actually a real fire. Mm-hmm. And they said, "Well, I'm going to send someone." So I waited, and about 30 minutes after I got here, Ron from JM showed up, and he proceeded to explain to me, this is what we need to do, this is going to be the process. You can go with anybody here, you don't have to use us, it's your insurance company. But I asked him one question: did Allstate send you, which is the insurance carrier? He said yes. I said, then I'll put my hat in your ring, because I know that if they're sending you, then that means they trust your work and trust your background. Okay. Which would end up being very true. So 6 months from the time the fire took place, we moved back into the house, which from what I understand, based on previous experience and conversations rather, that it could have taken it to a year, maybe a year and a half. Mm-hmm. So to be back home in 6 months to me was basically a godsend.
And how was Allstate to work with through the whole process?
Actually really good. I have no complaints. I always complain about having to pay for insurance, so you never think you really need it. But from the beginning to the end, a couple of glitches here and there, nothing's perfect. It went really well. And they were understanding, they did all everything they said they're going to do in the contract and between us, and it worked out really well. Okay.
And did JM get involved in the process, working with the insurance companies at all?
Just a couple of times. I mean, basically all my communication came through JM. Mm-hmm. I did talk to the adjuster a couple of times. For the construction part of it, they dealt with Allstate. For the internal part, the house, all the furnishings and things, we dealt with the insurance company direct. Okay. That's a little different. 2 different policies, 2 different processes. Okay. But overall, it was actually pretty good.
Okay. Who did you work with most at JM?
Ron and Doug.
Okay.
Yeah, Ron and Doug. Doug was actually he was really funny, building cars and those kind of things, but really dealt with him a lot in terms of the structural part of the house, and having him to explain to me along the way about the process and what's taking place, why there was a delay, things like, doing the shear wall. This area that we're standing in front of right now used to be about 8 inches smaller. So when they enlarged it to give me, I wanted to take the whole wall down, but they said no, because of the structural part of it, you couldn't do that. Okay. So actually, if I don't make the wall down, it'll clean up a little better. So we took the wall down and actually made this wall a much wider opening. I really want the whole wall gone, but because of the earthquake requirements, they had to repin this wall and do all that stuff underneath that you don't see, that you don't even think about. But I tell the story, when the earthquake comes, my house will be the only one of the blocks still standing. So that's a really good thing.
Anything in particular that you really liked about their work or the way they worked?
Oh, gee. I was thinking about this earlier. There's 3 things that you need to do. One, you need to be able to communicate. Mm-hmm. You need to be available. You need to make a decision. The communications for me was really easy because we did email. Fast response. They send me email, I respond to it. They asked for a decision. My wife and I, we talked about it. We made the decision. We moved forward. And we made ourselves available. I think if we hadn't done those 3 things, it may have added another month or maybe 2 to the overall process. Okay. So those things are key. What I liked about it, in fact, that they used email. And they were able to say, okay, we have this, we have that. What do you think? Send me pictures. I was able to send them pictures to my little iPad, my iPhone. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. And then when I didn't have a decision, I said, give me a recommendation. Okay. So they gave us recommendations. Okay. And the ones they've done, it worked out really well.
Okay.
So I cannot complain. Fireplace primarily. I love the fireplace. Once I learned how to use it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really a neat little fireplace.
And this is something they recommended?
Yep. It's all gas. In San Jose you can't burn wood. Right. But it's a gas fireplace and it lights up really well, and It is really fantastic. The air conditioner, the water heater, they recommended those things.
Okay.
So
Anything you were really pleasantly surprised about with the whole process? Something you didn't expect from a company like JM?
the speed.
Okay.
I was really, really surprised about the speed. Because like I said before, I was expecting this to carry on for at least a year. Because the original estimate said 9 months minimum. What really surprised me on the very onset of this, the fact that they had the house boarded up the same day.
Okay.
The day the fire took place, once it cooled down,
Right.
they had it boarded up. They had the Crown restoration people here cleaning up. Even though it was dark, it was smutty, it was just a fire.
Right.
And it was still really, really wet. They were able to come in, clean up, board up, to secure the property.
Okay.
Because there's still a lot of things that were not burnt, even though a lot of, 100% of the interior stuff was water damage or smoke damage.
Okay.
They were able to board it up and get it secure.
What type of fire did you have?
Had a kitchen fire. This
Okay.
kitchen area here that's been remodeled basically had a wire shortage, and it just burnt the entire kitchen. I was surprised too at some of the places they recommended that we go. I know there was a lot of it was based on cost factors and relationships. And I figure like this: since I got a 3-year warranty, if it breaks, I'll call them and they'll fix it.
Right.
So that's why I was surprised. That surprised me, the fact that we do have a warranty on the construction. The fact that if anything happens within the first year in workmanship and craftsmanship, that it'll be repaired. And so far, the little things that didn't work, they've been able to fix them. And it's been really, really minor things. When you get anything that's brand new, it's going to squeak here. Something's not going to line up just right. So they've been able to come out and fix it.
Right. And had you ever used a restoration contractor before?
Never had a need to. I'm somewhat of a chopper of myself, a contractor, construction guy, so I build stuff. But I never had to use anybody else before. So this was the first time. But I was surprised. It was almost a perfect relationship. It was a very good one. So everyone was very professional. They showed a great deal of sincerity for their work. And they really cared about what they were doing. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good.
And how different is the house from the original?
Oh man, it's really the same floor plan.
Okay.
The floor plan did not change because it didn't burn to the ground. But we did do a couple of structural things We changed the windows, now they're double paned, insulated. We added a French door in the kitchen. This one was a regular door. This used to be a window. We added this door. We also extended the deck, and now it goes across both doors. It made this area larger. So now they can get 2 people that pass through it as opposed to one. Changed the curvature of the walls. They used to be regular square walls, now they're rounded. And it is well insulated. So we moved to a place temporarily that's on the other side of town. In the 6 months that we were there, the PG&E bill ran, I take it back, the 4 months we were there. For 4 months, our PG&E was almost $900. I checked the bill for this place just yesterday. For a 30-day period, it was $69.
Do you have solar? Did they put solar in?
I have no solar. All I have is well-insulated house. And I think not only the insulation, but when they did the new coating for the venting in the attic, it makes it a lot cooler. So
And that's something JM did, or they just did it to
JM
code?
did. They did it to code, but something JM did. So that's, I give them credit for that. The stairway is new. When I told them I wanted to do hardwood, Jim recommended the railing for this, the design. So that worked out really well. Really love it. We selected hardwood floors. So it's cherry wood, wide panel. It used to be maple, small panels. So that, and the doors, all the doors were changed. Everything is basically brand new.
I love the color of the floors.
Yeah, it really, really, really works.